Hey everybody, thanks for joining us today. My name is Taylor Martin, and I'm joined today by Miss Caroline.
Caroline Hageman, and we're with the Tennessee Wildlife Federation.
Today we're going to be showing you how to make duck poppers. These are going to be made with wild harvested ducks of a few different species. We're excited about doing this too because a lot of people, when they get into hunting, the idea of what to do with this wild game they've harvested is pretty overwhelming. You don't really know what to do with it. It's different than store-bought meat, and you just need to know how to do it. So I'm pretty happy to say these are pretty simple if you know a few basic things, and you can learn to customize it as you go. So let's get started. Caroline, if you'd help me out and hand me some
beautiful duck breast.
Yeah, duck breasts. So these are some Mallard hen breasts that were harvested last season. So we thawed this out overnight, and we're just going to kind of start preparing it for duck poppers. The main thing that you want to do is try to get these flat, and so they're easy to roll because we're going to be stuffing them with cream cheese and all types of good stuff. The first thing that you need to know is wild game a lot of times comes with this film on the outside of the meat that you don't see when you buy your meat in the store, and you kind of see that color, that silver skin. That's what a lot of people call it. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to remove that because that is what a lot of people think, oh, wild game makes it very chewy or very tough. They don't remove that beforehand. But what I like to always do is start at the kind of the thinnest end of the duck breast. You can see it right here, and just make a slit like so. It doesn't have to be very deep. The silver skin just rides like kind of right on the top of the duck breast, and you're going to just kind of start working the knife very shallow until you can kind of get your hand under a piece or finger under a piece, and then you're just going to keep working it back.
So it seems like a really delicate process, but honestly I think it is, from what you've said, it kind of makes it and gets it to right where it isn't chewy, not stuck in your mouth for a while.
Right.
Very much needed.
Yeah. This is one of those things that, it takes a little bit of prep and takes a little bit more time, but it's totally worth it. Duck and, some people are always thinking about how healthy something can be. Duck is really healthy for you and very rich in iron. I think one serving of duck is well over your daily need of iron.
So do you do the same thing on the back too?
So you can always take a look at the back, and a lot of times the back will be fine. Where that silver skin is really where the layer of fat sits on the duck.
Gotcha.
And the underside of this breast sits against their rib cage. So it doesn't really have it. So you can kind of always take a look. A lot of times I'll take off kind of that little tenderloin, and if you see any kind of pockets of fat like that, that's good to remove as well because that becomes very chewy. So now that we've moved that, and you can see, that's not a very substantial pile. So we have our duck breast right here, and all we're going to do is cut this into strips. Depending on the species of duck and how big it is, will kind of determine how many strips you can get out of it. We'll probably just get about 3 out of this one because you want to have them maybe about an inch thick right here. So now that we have these strips, we're just kind of butterfly them open. We're just kind of cut them so they lay flat and are easier to roll. So what I do is I turn it on its side right here. That way when the cut is made, both sides are symmetrical. So all we're going to do is take the knife and slide it through there. And once you start making it, you can start opening it. But just like that. So you can go ahead and put that in the bowl.
Alrighty, lay that down right there.
While I cut these. And then once we get these cut, we're actually not done yet before we start stuffing them with cream cheese. We're going to soak them in Italian dressing. That Italian dressing does a lot of things. One, it adds a lot of good flavor, but it also tenderizes it. Make sure they're completely covered. You want to make sure
So all the way submerged?
Yes.
Cool. Let's just do that.
And you might toss them with your hands real fast just to make sure they're completely coated.
Let's see. I think we're doing good here.
All right, perfect. And then next we're just going to pop those in the fridge and let those sit.
Alrighty. Let's just do that really quick. Put these right here. There we go.
So we went ahead and pre-made some of these where we cut them up just like we just did and have been soaking these in Italian dressing overnight. we're gonna have you go ahead and mix the cream cheese.
Alrighty.
And put some onions in there.
Yep. And then we'll do a little bit of jalapenos.
Yes. And one of the great things about this recipe is that you can customize it to you. So if you're not a big spice person, you can, when you cut up your jalapenos, you can core them out and remove all the seeds so they're not as spicy. But if you do like spice, leave the seeds in. I always try to make a couple batches when I do duck poppers, some that are more spicy than others. If you have the time and you're able to prepare a lot of this the night before, it's good to throw your cream cheese into a pot and warm it up and kind of get it melted, and then throw in your jalapenos, your cream cheese, everything like that. The first thing that I like to do is lay my bacon on the surface that I'm going to be preparing. The bacon here is important because wild game, no matter what it is, a lot of the times has very low fat.
Or if it does, you trim it off.
Exactly. So that being said, that means you run the risk of really burning your meat and making it very tough. So the bacon,
nothing that we want,
of course, adds flavor. Who doesn't love bacon? But it also helps you prevent burning that meat. And when you're cooking, the fat from the bacon runs and keeps the duck marinated, or it keeps it from drying out.
Okay, makes total sense.
So we got our bacon laid across here. We're gonna grab a piece of duck that we've flayed open like we showed earlier. So you notice that I laid these across each other at a 90, kind of intersecting to make a grid here. That's because when I put the cream cheese in right here, I'm gonna roll the duck breast up, and then I'm gonna roll the bacon over top of it to help hold that cream cheese into it. Because once you start to cook this, it's gonna run out.
So there's some technique to this, is what I'm hearing. Okay.
This is a technique learned from multiple duck poppers that ended up dropping all their cream cheese when you put them on the grill.
Okay. So we're learning what not to do here and how to do it the right way.
Yeah, I've learned from my past experience. Save your cream cheese and enjoy your duck poppers. So all that we're going to do is grab a little bit of this mixture. You don't need a whole lot. The more you put in, the more kind of difficult it will be to roll it and everything. But you just kind of put it in that pocket that we created by flaying the duck breast open right there. And that's a pretty good amount for that size duck breast.
All right.
We're just going to lay that down and grab our toothpicks. So loosely roll this up right here. We just want to make sure the meat overlaps to give us a good place to put the toothpick into.
Gotcha.
So we're going to poke the toothpick right through there. And you can already see that kind of that cream cheese starting to roll out on each side a bit. So that's why it's good to have this bacon right here. So we're going to, and then that's really it. So we've rolled that completely up, and a good way for me to see that I did this correctly is if I can pick it up by the toothpick and everything picks up together. So I'm going to pick that up
your skills,
right
don't
there. So that I think is a pretty good duck popper ready for the grill. All right, so we just got done pulling these off the grill. How do they look to you?
I think they look pretty darn good. I think this one is mine because it's the smallest, cutest, and best looking one, to be honest.
Yes, so these are best eaten just with your fingers. They can be a little messy, but they're totally worth it. And they're best served hot. As soon as you pull them off the grill, start serving them out to anybody who wants to try one. So let's give it a try.
Yes, honestly, before I bite into this, I think the mess is part of the whole experience of how they're gonna taste.
Yeah, just remember to remove those toothpicks.
Yep.
And then get you a bite.
All righty. Oh my God, so good. I think the cream cheese just like puts it over the notch.
Yeah,
Top.
These are literally by far my favorite thing to cook with wild game.
Oh my God. Now I know what to do with it from now on when I get duck breasts. I feel like before, they just always sat in the refrigerator or the freezer, no matter what. And this is the first go-to I'm gonna use for it. Oh my God.
What do you think?
Fantastic.
Is it tender?
It's super tender. I think it's super juicy and flavorful. Absolutely perfect. And I'm gonna finish the rest of this right now.
Yes. All right, so thanks everybody for joining us today. Hopefully you learned how to make some duck poppers, and hopefully you can get out and hunt some waterfowl this season. If you're wanting to learn how to hunt waterfowl in Tennessee, the Hunting and Fishing Academy is a great place to do that. We're going to have duck hunting workshops all across the state. Hopefully you can attend one. Caroline, are you going to get out this duck season?
Well, now that we made and ate these and tasting how delicious they are, I think so. I think I'll be out there this season.
Yeah, so you heard it straight from Caroline. Get out there, harvest some ducks so you can make some duck poppers. But we hope to see y'all at an event. And until next time.
Thanks, y'all.